They don't want to admit it, but this is what it is, right? This is it, unmasked.
Probe away.
Who has a right to the land?
Yeah.
And you said it's a mixture of religion.
So yeah, for about 1 hour, Tucker Carlson did not get not even one straight answer from Mike Huckabee.
Many of the founders, maybe the majority of the founders of modern Israel, did not believe in God at all. So they were not religious Jews. They weren't religious at all. They were atheists. They said they were atheists. I believe them.
So yeah, Tucker Carlson has established this, right? So Mike Huckabee claims that the right to Israel has two things, right? One, religion, and the other is genetic, race, I think ethnicity. So Tucker Carlson has already established that the Zionists, they weren't religious, they were atheists.
That suggests it's ethnic. But it's also true, as you well know, because there's a famous court case about this, that ethnic Jews who convert to Christianity do not have the right of return. That was settled by the Israeli Supreme Court. I'm very confused. So that would suggest it's not ethnicity, because you invalidate your Jewishness by converting to Christianity?
There are a number of Messianic Jews who live in Israel.
Where that number? But you're not contesting what I'm saying, because it's a very famous court case.
The right of return has to do with your mother, your grandmother. It has to do with family ties.
So it's ethnic.
Sure, ethnicity is a big part of the right of return.
Great.
To make Aliyah, then to come to Israel.
Yeah, no straight answer. Sure, it's a big part of it. Because Israel is vibes-based, okay? It's about vibe. You have a Jewish Israeli vibe. So you can get a piece of land in Israel. That's it. That's what I'm getting from this interview. At Claim Kim Tab. Also, Mike Huckabee keeps repeating, who has the right to Israel? People from 3,800 years ago. It's specific, people. 3,800 years ago. If you were in Israel 3,801 years ago, tough titties. You can't be in this land. If your ancestors were in Israel 4,000 years ago, tough titties. You don't have the right to this land. It has to be 3,800 years ago, people, because that's when the Big Bang started. 3,800 years ago. Number one, people, this is why religion pisses me off. A book tells you you own this land, so you own this land. Make it make sense, number one. Number two, this is not even about religion, because the creators of Israel weren't religious. They were atheists. So this shit is fuckery, people. This is fuckery. It doesn't make sense. This debate does not make sense. But big up Tucker Carlson for just dismantling this motherfucker. Okay. So at about 1 hour, 20 minutes, this is when Tucker Carlson brings up genetics. Okay? Jasmine Carasa. It's racial, just like how the Nazis, Yeah, if it is racial, that also does not make sense, right?
They have a right to live in Israel?
Well, there's a whole legal literature in Israel on that question. And my understanding is that certain types of modern Judaism qualify a person and other types don't. Is that your understanding? I don't believe that people converted, and I could have this wrong, but I know people who face this personally, people. I don't believe people who've converted in a Reform synagogue have the right of return. I don't think that is, because I know people who've married into Jewish families and they find out they don't have the right of return. So that is perplexing to me.
Yeah, I know, my experience is a little different than yours. I know people who have definite Jewish connections, family relations, but now they're Christian. Some are not necessarily practicing Jews. They're more secular Jews, as you've discussed, but they come back here.
Okay, I'm not against that. I'm just wondering, since you began this conversation by asking me, did I think they had a right to come here?
Yeah, that's
and
what
my question was, on what basis do they have the right?
Yeah.
And you said because God granted it to them.
And I also said because that there should be a land where Jews can live in peace and safety.
And I asked you what a Jew was, and you couldn't answer it. You said it partly is religious, but doesn't have to be. It's partly genetic, but it doesn't have to be. And so that you can see why I'm confused.
I think I was very clear that being Jewish is an identification either through blood or through faith that you're Jewish. It may be that you're a blood Jew, but you don't necessarily practice Judaism, just like there are people who say they're Christian, but they don't do a thing to demonstrate what
there are a lot of bad Christians, including me some of the time, a lot of the time. But I don't have a right to real estate on the basis of my claim of Christianity.
You don't have a right to real estate if you're talking about a specific parcel.
Here's the whole thing. Yeah, some people just have the right to this land to the point where you can displace natives. This is the point of the debate, right? So now, who are these people? What gives you the right to displace natives? What gives you the right to this land? And Mike Huckabee, who is, by the way, the ambassador, the U.S., he's supposed to be a Yank, by the way. The U.S. ambassador to Israel does not even know who are these people that have these rights. He keeps jumping from religion, ethnicity, maybe religion, but not so religious. Ethnicity, maybe, but it's vibes-based, people. There's no documentation, no black and white. It's like you're Jewish, you're not Jewish, you're Jewish, you're not Jewish, you get a land, you don't, for some reason. He can't answer a single question. He keeps just jumping from this to this to this to this. It's religion, but some people are not that religious. And, the Zionists were not religious, I guess. So it's not religion. It's ethnicity, but we can't prove it. Right? Yeah, Jasmine Carasa, exactly. See, there's a lot of questions that they can't answer. They can't answer this question that you have. Do Palestinians who converted from Judaism to Islam have a right to return? They can't answer it. They don't, because they don't have the right vibes. Those Palestinians don't have the right vibes. It is what it is. They could have genetic connection to like the fucking Big Bang, but they just don't have the right vibe. So they don't get the right to the land. That's what it boils down to.
But if you're talking about a land, I think what we're talking about is
that's all I'm saying.
And there was a designation to the family of nations of the world that there would be a Jewish homeland. Let's get to that point, because I think you've taken us on several trails here, and I'm not sure we can follow them all. But is there a reason that the Jewish people that represent, and I want to get back to this because you didn't let me finish a while ago, they represent 0.2% of the world's population. In the entirety of the world, there are about 16 million Jews total, and 8 million of them live here. The rest live mostly in New York or South Florida and a few other places.
Okay.
So this is a small population of people, have connection to this land, historically, biblically.
Do they?
Yes, they do.
If Bibi's family, we know they lived in Eastern Europe. There's no evidence they ever lived here. He's not religious.
Holy shit, this is going to get deep, people. Run it back. This is about to get deep.
In the entirety of the world, there are about 16 million Jews total, and 8 million of them live here. The rest live mostly in New York or South Florida and a few other places.
Okay.
So this is a small population of people. They have connection to this land, historically, biblically.
Do they?
Yes, they do.
If Bibi's family, we know they lived in Eastern Europe. There's no evidence they ever lived here. He's not religious.
But
in what sense
ancestrally,
do you have his family tree? No, we don't.
Do you?
He doesn't. So no one does. That's the point. So how do we know that he's in it at all?
And if there has been a practice of Judaism and a connection to the language.
He doesn't know. He does not know the fucking president of Israel. That's literally the fucking alpha male of Israel. This motherfucker, the ambassador, the Yankee ambassador of Israel, does not even know if Netanyahu is native to the land or if he even practices Judaism. Imagine that, people. The literal ambassador, Yankee ambassador to Israel, does not know if the presidente of Israel is religious or has connections to the land. No, they don't know. I told you, man. It's vibes based. Imagine not knowing when you are literally a government official. Don't know. Yeah, exactly. Miku even nasty, a pile driver. Is he? Are they? Can't answer. You are the ambassador. You're supposed to know. You're paid to know. But I guess, I don't know. Imagine that, people. This is vibes based.
Which the Bible, the land.
His ancestors didn't. He doesn't practice Judaism in any rigorous way. His ancestors didn't live here. They didn't speak the language, and there's no evidence they ever lived here. So on what basis does he have a right to be here?
Very much speaks the language. He has fought for the land. His family has fought for the land.
Dodging a guy's question, which is, where does this right come from?
Yeah, he didn't answer the origin part. He just said fought for the land. What does that even mean, fought for the land? So that means if you fought for the land and you won, you own the land. That's conquest. That's colonialism. That's not you having the right to the land because you're a native. That's because you won the land. I understand that. I understand if you're an asshole. Don't say he has the right to this land, but you can't prove it. Just say you won the land.
The reason it's meaningful is because there are a lot of people in the territory that Israel controls today, particularly in the West Bank, who, through genetic testing, we can know their families have been here for thousands of years. We don't know whether they practiced Judaism, whether they were Samaritans, pre-Islam. We don't know that. A lot of them we know have been Christians for 2,000 years. They have less of a right to the land than someone whose ancestors, the only thing we know about them is they lived in Latvia or Poland. They're Eastern European. How does that work?
They're Jewish.
By what definition?
Yeah, that's it. Vibes based. They're Jewish. Okay, what makes them Jewish? They're just Jewish. That's it, people. You don't have to prove it. There's no genetics involved, no science involved, no nothing. No, not even religion. You don't have to be. They're just Jewish, right?
They're Jewish by their.
But how do we know they're
Jewish by their faith? They're Jewish by the connection to the language. Jewish by the connection to the Torah.
But how do we know that Bibi, specifically Bibi's ancestors, ever lived here? How do we know that?
I'm not sure if I understand your question.
How do we know if the Prime Minister of Israel's ancestors ever lived?
Maybe I could ask you, how do we know they didn't? I mean,
well, it's on the basis of the claim that they did.
Yo, do you know how crazy this is? This guy is literally the ambassador. How do we know that we don't know? Really? You're supposed to know. You can't make claims and then not back it up. You are the literal ambassador. You're a government official. Holy shit. Tucker Carlson is not supposed to know. You're supposed to know. Tucker Carlson is a fucking influencer. He's not supposed to know. He's asking the questions. If you don't have answers to the questions, maybe, just maybe, this is fuckery, people. That's it. Just say it's fuckery. Okay, we stole this land and we own it. That's it. Just admit to it. That's why you don't have the answers. It's like if I stole from the bank and motherfucker asks me, hey, where do you get this money? I own this money. How do you own this money? You don't have a job. How do you get this money? I have the rights to this money, but you don't have a job. I don't see any receipts of you receiving this money in legal ways. How did you get this money? It's just my money. That's what it is. You know you stole it from the bank. By the way, there's nothing wrong with stealing from the bank because in Minecraft, but because the bank is a capitalist system that's not legit anyway. So you know what? But that's another story for another day. But yeah, that's what it is. Motherfucker stole the land and just made up some BS they can't back up. This guy is a literal government official, people. He's not some rando.
That all kinds of things happen. People are displaced. There's a money flow. I mean, it's a big question. A lot hangs on this. It's not some theoretical thing like, oh, did my grandparents do this or do that? It's like, no, we have a right to be here because my ancestors were here. Okay, how do we know they were here?
I'm totally unable to process what you're trying to get at.
Holy fuck.
It goes back, do Jewish people have any land on this planet that should be theirs to give them?
I feel that way about all peoples. I feel that way about Jewish peoples. I feel that way about...
Okay, then you don't mind them having this little
Is there any
land,
country, let me
right?
ask you this bluntly, is there any country that European peoples have a right to exclusively?
I think they have attained their land through conquest. I mean, let's...
That's it. We stole it. The Europeans... What do you mean they? You are European, my guy. I can see it in your skin. What do you mean they? You are European. Holy shit. They stole the land. Just say it, right? Stop trying to dilly-dally when you know you're dilly-dallying. You're a dilly. Stop trying to pretend you're dally. We know you're a dilly.
Ask
Have
ourselves...
the Britons attained their land through conquest? No, they've always been there.
The Romans, the Greeks, we've had all these
let's speak. Well, you could certainly say that here. The Romans controlled this, as you know, and they expelled all the Jews from Jerusalem. Amen.
You know what's fucked up? He doesn't even want to admit the Anglos have a right to that land because the Anglos have been there more than 3,800 years. Okay? Because if he admits to the Anglos owning the Anglo land or whatever, then he admits that in order to have rights to the land, you have to be there older than 3,800. That's the magic number. You only have rights to the land if you got it 3,800 years ago. It has to be 3,800. It can't be 3,801. It can't be 3,900. No, it got to be 3,800. Otherwise, you don't have rights to the land. Okay?
I want them to control it. I'm anti-Roman. Okay, we're on the same page.
Okay.
But my question is very simple. Is there any European peoples that possesses the same right to their land that the Jews, including people whose ancestors lived in Eastern Europe, possess here? The Britons, we know, the British people, the Scandinavian people, the Irish people, their ancestors have been there for thousands of years. That's provable through genetic testing. Do they have a...
But thousands of years, yes. But is it 3,800 though?
Right to their land exclusively?
Is anyone saying they don't?
Yes, of course. Yes. No one will say they will. And I'm asking you, do they have that right?
And I'm not sure what that
He does not even want to say yes.
question involves because no one is trying to force them out of their land, of their homes. But here, you have people...
Why won't you answer that question?
Because I just did.
Oh, so the Irish people have the same right to their land that the Jews have.
I don't know that they have a biblical connection.
Okay.
But I'm a Bible believer.
Okay.
So that is...
Bro, what the fuck is a biblical connection? Holy shit. The Big Bang happened when the Bible was released. Okay? Holy shit. This is fuckery.
But it's also a principle. And that is, and you've said it 15 times.
Sometimes people have land because they were able to attain it through war. They were able to attain it when it was challenged.
I understand that. There's all kinds of conflict. But we can't
Yeah, I understand people stealing lands.
say that about the Irish.
The world borders change all the time.
Not actually, the borders of the island of England have not changed, nor the Ireland. Those are just two examples. So you've got the indigenous people there. Do they have a moral right to that as their homeland?
And I think they would probably say, yes, we do, because we have ancient.
He does not want to say yes because he knows for a fact that these Europeans are not indigenous to the land. So if he admits to indigenous people having the right to the land, he disproves the right of these Europeans on the land right now. That's why he does not want to say yes, people.
What do you think?
I've never thought about whether
Now that I'm raising the question, and you spend a lot of time thinking about the right of the Jewish people to their homeland, do the Irish have the same right to a homeland?
As long as they can defend it, and as long as they,
As long as they can defend.
Holy as long as they can defend it. What the does that even mean, people? You see, that's it. Unmasked. That's it. That's all there is to it. If you steal a plot of land, as long as you can defend it, you have the right to it. That's it. That's the European ideology. Not that deep. Unmasked. That's it. He said it, not me. I know it already. I know this is the ideology. I know this is the real. This is the real. This is the real. This is the real. This is what it is. If you steal a land and you can defend it, it's yours. You have the rights to that land. That's it. That's the European ideology. Don't pretend this is something else. Don't pretend this is about, having the rights to this land because some book told me God gave me this land, or like genetics gave me this land. Nah, this is it. This is the real, people. This is it. This is what it boils down to. They don't want to admit it, but this is what it is, right? This is it. Unmasked.